All right, let's talk about something we all think we know, but that holds some truly shocking secrets: muscle. We're going to dive into why pretty much everything you assume about losing muscle as you get older is probably wrong. And, more importantly, what the science actually says is the key to building it and keeping it for life. Okay, let's jump right in.
First things first, we gotta tackle the biggest myth out there when it comes to aging and fitness. We all have this picture in our heads of how we lose muscle, right? Like it's this slow, steady, unavoidable slide. But what if I told you that's not really how it works at all?
So when scientists zoom way out and look at muscle loss across a whole population, the data kind of looks like a smooth, gentle slope downwards. But here's the thing. That's not your story. When you zoom in on just one person, the picture changes completely. It's not a slide. It's a staircase. It's a series of sharp, sudden drops, what scientists call a graded step function.
So what's causing these huge drops? It's not just your birthday. It's those specific times when you're inactive. Just think about it for a second. That bad flu that knocks you out for a week, a broken leg that has you on the couch for 2 months, or even just a super stressful month at work where the gym is the last thing on your mind. Each one of those events can cause a massive drop in muscle, and the scary part is, you often don't get it all back. That's the real enemy here.
Okay, so to really understand how to fight this, we need to get what's actually happening inside our muscles. And one of the coolest ways to do that is with this fascinating puzzle. It's called the athlete's paradox. And it shows that things inside our muscles are not always what they seem.
So what on earth could these two people possibly have in common? I mean, they're at totally opposite ends of the health spectrum, right? Well, the answer is super counterintuitive, and it's a perfect example of why just looking at a snapshot of information can be so misleading. Get this, they can both have a lot of fat stored right inside their muscle cells. That's right, if you took a tiny piece of muscle from a world-class marathon runner and from someone with type 2 diabetes, you could find high levels of fat in both. And I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't fat in your muscle a bad thing? Well, it totally depends on what that fat is actually doing.
And this is where it all clicks. In the person with diabetes, that fat is basically a clogged up storage depot. It's extra energy with nowhere to go, and it gums up the works, leading to insulin resistance. But in the athlete, that same fat is high-octane rocket fuel. It's in constant motion, being burned and replaced super fast to power their activity. It's not about what's there, it's all about the turnover.
So that paradox really shows us that healthy muscle is all about activity and turnover. With that in mind, how do we actually build more of it? Well, it all starts with the building blocks themselves, protein. But here's the cool part. Protein isn't just raw material. It's also the construction foreman telling everyone to get to work.
I absolutely love this analogy from Dr. Luc Van Loon. It perfectly explains that amino acids, the little pieces that make up protein, are actually signaling molecules. So just by eating protein, you're sending a message to your body to start building more muscle, even if you haven't worked out. The bricks literally call out to the bricklayers to come and start building the wall.
But of course, not all protein works the same way. To really maximize this effect, you have to think about 4 key things that decide how your body uses the protein you eat. Let's just run through them real quick.
First up, you've got digestibility. Pretty simple. How much of the protein can your body actually get to and use? Animal proteins usually have a bit of an edge here. They're just easier for us to break down. But a little pro tip, cooking your plant-based sources can really help improve how well you absorb them. Next is the digestion rate. How fast do those amino acids actually hit your bloodstream? The classic example is in milk. You have whey protein, which is super fast and gives you a quick spike, and then you have casein, which is slow and steady, giving you more of a sustained release over hours. They both have their place.
Third is the amino acid profile. Does the protein have all the different tools you need for the job? A protein like whey is complete. It's got the whole toolbox. But then you have something like collagen, which is incomplete. It has tons of a few specific amino acids, but it's missing others, so you can't really build muscle with it on its own. So we've got the blueprint. We know what to look for in protein. But there's one final huge concept that ties this all together. It reveals the single most important rule for keeping your muscle for life. And it's a phenomenon called anabolic resistance.
Anabolic resistance sounds fancy, but it's actually pretty simple. It just means your muscles get stubborn. They stop listening to the signals telling them to grow, signals from both protein and exercise. And what makes them stubborn? 2 main things: getting older and, you guessed it, inactivity.
And if you want to see just how powerful inactivity is, check this out. It's kind of shocking. Scientists took a bunch of young, healthy people and basically put one of their legs in a cast for just a week. After only 7 days, that leg's ability to build muscle dropped by a staggering 35%. This proves that this isn't some old person problem. Inactivity can make anyone's muscles resistant, and it happens incredibly fast.
And that brings us to the golden rule, which this quote just nails. We get so obsessed with the tiny details, like should I have my protein shake 10 minutes or 30 minutes after I work out? But we're completely missing the forest for the trees. The real magic isn't in one meal, it's in consistent training. When you train consistently, you make your body more sensitive to protein, so that every meal you eat has a bigger muscle-building punch.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. You can optimize your protein and your meal timing all day long, but none of that matters if you don't have the stimulus of the workout itself. Your last meal can't build muscle from a workout you didn't do. So the real question is, are you focusing on the thing that actually moves the needle? That's all for this one.